Hi, it's Andy, and today we are divorced, beheaded, live for my July 6-a-thon, readathon, TBR. Yes, it is time for my July TBR, and I am befuddled at the fact that it is 1 July, and also I'm quite excited for the 6-a-thon readathon because I needed structure for July. I really needed structure, and I also needed July to not be hectic, and Becca has given me this on a platter with her 6-a-thon readathon because we have 7 prompts to look at, 1 for each of the queens and 1 for the ladies in waiting. If you have not seen that video, I will tag Becca and the video below for you to go look at. There's still time to have a look at that and, you know, plan your TBR. The prompts are nice and easy to go over and find watch action up there and find books for. And yeah, I needed some structure, I needed an easy month, so 7 prompts is something that is going to be hopefully nice and easy to fill books for. I have not filled these prompts yet, so we will do this together. As you can see, I am wearing, or you can kind of see, oh my god, we'll do this here. I am kind of wearing my one of my 6 t-shirts. This is the one I got the first time I went. Of course it says divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived. And my other one is in the wash because I wore it to go see 6 the last time I went, which is only earlier this month. So yeah, I don't think you can even get this t-shirt anymore. Like, this was only on the first tour, so got some nice merch that you can't quite get anymore. Anyway, I'm just gonna go straight on to doing this because my dinner is in the oven and we need to get this done rapid fire. First thing I'm gonna do is put us all out of our misery with the jar pick, and by all of us I mean Jem and also myself, because I need to try and fit whatever this is into a prompt. Now, actually, what I'm going to do first, I'm going to put the lid back on and put this down. What I'm going to do first is address a couple of things, a couple of elephants in the room. Elephant number 1. You can probably hear the fan on my computer. It is currently 23 degrees outside, and my computer is exporting, so it is fighting for its life. I've got a cooling fan on underneath it as well, so it is well and truly fighting for its life in this heat, well, exporting. So please forgive that. You are going to hear that through the entire video, so if you can't stand that sound, I advise you to just exit the video. I won't take offence, but you will hear that through the entirety of the video. It is going to happen. Number 2, yes, my face is shiny. I take you back to it's 23 degrees outside. I have closed the window and turned off my fan so that you don't have that sound on top of it as well. You're welcome. It does, however, mean that my face is shiny. I showered this morning and put moisturiser on my face, and the moisturiser always makes my face look kind of shiny, but like, also, it's 23 degrees. If this bothers you, also, click off the video. I also am wearing my glasses and my ring light keeps catching. This is a stupid reason. I've been wearing my glasses to edit, and because of damage done so I worked as a dental nurse during COVID, and there was damage done to my skin because of the PPE we had to wear, and now whenever I wear my glasses, even just the really lightweight glasses, but because of the damage done to my skin and my tissue, because of all the PPE we had to wear, because we had to wear like rubber masks and stuff for the spray and stuff, because obviously dental work, whenever I wear my glasses even for a short amount of time, it marks my nose really badly, and I didn't want to do the video aware that you could see those marks the entire time, so I'm keeping my glasses on. So this is how we're doing this. So yeah, those are the things I wanted to address right off. Also, the acne is acneing. But yeah, so those are the things I want to address, because otherwise it's going to bother me the entire way through. So if any of those things bother you, this is your time to click off the video. If you stayed, thank you. You're very kind. I appreciate you very much. You know. My pinky's always getting in the way when I do this. Yeah, millennial heart. I can't do the, what's the what should we work that out in real time, honestly? Anyway, right, so step 1, pull from the jar. As we know, we still have Gem's nightmare pick of fragile threads. Now, no, that's not what I was going to do first. That's a lie. My God, I'm sorry, Gem. This must be giving you palpitations. What I'm going to do first is quickly run through the prompts to show you where my problem is. So, prompts in quick succession. So we have Aragon, first book in a series. Boleyn, a book that everyone's talking about. Seymour, read a friend's favourite book. Cleaves, a book that has a cover change, that's had a cover change. Howard, read an underrated book. Parr, read the last book in a series. And Ladies in Waiting, read a book with a group of people. Now, the only 2 books I need to get on my TBR for this month will be whatever comes out here and whichever glass book is next, like for the Chronicles of Ixia read along. Again, linked below. I'm not 100% sure which one it is. I think it's Spyglass. It could be Spyglass, Stormglass, or whichever one the other one is. Anyway, those are the only ones I need to get on. So I'm picking this first. In this, I actually do have 2 books that are the start of a series. So if I pull one of those, that's why I want you to do this first. Because if I pull one of those books, I can put that in here. And like in there, and then I can pull other books around that prompt. So that's why I want you to do this first. Okay, here we go. I kind of want to, the one I want is the Billy Connolly book. Secondary, I kind of want Perilous because I've still not read that, and the next one, Reckless, comes out next month. This month, well, July. Gilded, I kind of want to get off my TBR. Fragile Threads, I also kind of just want to get off my TBR. Okay, what are we doing? This one, this one, this one. What are we thinking? I'll put that in here. Okay. Okay. Before we open it, I'm going to pull up my list because I've not pulled that up yet. I don't have, oh I do, I didn't have 12 and 12, there we go. So, drum roll please. Okay, excellent. Perilous. Just a second. So, K is the name I pulled out of the jar, or the tin, semantics. K is my lovely wife. Every time I say my lovely something, I always think my lovely horse from Father's Head. Anybody else? Just me? Probably. So Kay gave me Perilous to read. Perilous by Lauren Roberts, which is excellent because this is one of the books that I have been wanting to get on my TBR for the longest time. For the longest time. Oh. Anyway, because I wanted to get this read before any of the others came out so that I didn't need to, if I didn't like it, I would have the pre-orders coming in. But the pre-orders have come in. I've already got Powerful. Reckless comes out on the 4th of July. It's unlikely I'll read this before that comes out. But I've got the matching Waterstones editions, so it's fine. I can sell them as a set or give them away as a set if I end up not liking them. But this is like Red Queen-esque. It's been described as by people who have read them. So I like Red Queen. I've got the set there, you can see that. I really, really like Red Queen. It's one of my favourite fantasy series. It's the level of fantasy that I can understand. So I'm looking forward to this. I don't remember much about it. I actually bought it because Kay was like, if you don't read it, I will read it. So we bought it. If I don't like it, it'll be going to Kay's bookshelves. So it's no muss no fuss, you know. So that is my first one, and that will be going on to, oh, who will it be going on to? It will be going on to, do you know what, we'll deal with that later. I'll go through, what I'm going to do, I'll pop this down just now, I'll pull my TBR together and I'll run them through with you in order of queens. And I am back with my TBR. So I've gone away and I have gotten all the books that will work for my 6th prompts and a few extra that I would just like to read this month. I've also had my dinner because I did not manage to film this in time, so if anything is different, I apologise. It has been like half an hour since I filmed that last segment, so we persevere. It's fine. It's fine. What I'm going to do now is just go through the prompts and show you which book I've picked for each prompt and why I've picked it, and then go through the books that I've picked that I generally just want to read in the month of July. The first queen is Katherine of Aragon, and that prompt is the first book in a series, and for that we pulled Perilous from my 12 and 12 jar, and for that we pulled Kay, and her book was Perilous. This is the first in a series and it is one of the ones that I did actually want to pull. So this starts the series. Hopefully I'm going to really enjoy it. It is said to be like Red Queen. I did really like Red Queen. So keep your fingers crossed for me because I have this, I have the novella, I have the second book pre-ordered and it comes on the 4th of July. So just everybody please keep your hopes and prayers for me that I'm going to like this book. I don't know anything about this really other than the fact that it is a young adult fantasy. I got this ages ago and cannot remember much about it other than obviously it sounded good at the time. So yeah. Next is the queen that caused the Sea of E to be created, and that is Anne Boleyn, and that is a book that everyone is talking about. And for that I've chosen Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. This book was and is everywhere, and I mean everywhere. This book is being talked about non-stop on my socials, on TikTok, on Instagram, everywhere I look, everybody is talking about this book, and this is the thing that got me sort of looking at Hannah Bonham Young. And if you saw I think it was my TBR last month or this month, I can't remember what it was, when I read the first book in her duology, Next of Kin, I absolutely loved that. But this is the one, if you look up Hannah Bonham Young on socials, this is the one that everybody is talking about. This is her first book, I believe, and everybody just absolutely raves about it. It has apparently the most incredible disability rep in it, and from reading her other book I am not going to be shocked if it's incredible, so I'm really excited about it. This follows two disabled people and they meet, I think, have a one night stand and she ends up pregnant. That's all I really know about it, and I don't even know if that's what I know about it. I'm just like from like the vestiges of my memory. But yeah, like I say, I cannot look anywhere on my socials and not see this book, so I think it fits the prompt. Next is Jane Seymour, who I think for the tour is definitely my favourite queen. She's currently being played by Erin on the tour, and Erin is a Scottish actress and she is honestly just, I've never seen anybody or heard anybody sing Hearthstone better than Erin, and she just, there's not a dry eye in the house when she sings Hearthstone. So yeah, Seymour has to be, I think, my favourite queen, and the prompt for that is to read a friend's favourite book. And for that, we all know I had to get it on my TBR, and we all know this series in general is one of Tori's favourites. So yeah, I'm choosing Stormglass for that. So Stormglass is the next book we have to read for the Chronicles of Ixia read along. So we will be reading this in July for our live show in August. Had to actually think about that there. So yeah, this is the first in the next trilogy, but it is the fourth in the overall series. This follows a character who we met in the first trilogy, so it moves on to a different POV. I don't know if this is multi-POV or if it just follows the one character. This is up to the point now where I have no longer read the books. Like, this is actually Tori's. I borrowed this from Tori because I no longer have the books. I only have the first study trilogy, so Poison Study, Magic Study and Fire Study. I don't have a copy of these on my own, so I've borrowed these from Tori so I can read them. Next up is the queen that's going to help you get down, and that is Anna of Cleves. And that is a book that has had a cover change. And for this, we're going back to Hannah Bonham Young, and that is Next to You. These books have gained a lot of popularity quite recently because they were indie published and they are now traditionally published. They were picked up very, very recently, like literally this year. The one that I've just shown you, Out on a Limb, has only just this last month or so been re-released in its new cover. So all three of her books, so Next of Kin, Next to You and Out on a Limb, have been picked up by a traditional publisher, and so they have been switched from their independent published covers to their new traditional published covers. So this is actually the third version of this cover that I've seen, so definitely counts for a cover change. So it went from the indie published cover to this published cover. There's also an American cover, but I don't think the American UK covers count as like a cover change, but it definitely counts from the independent cover, so like when she was publishing it herself, to the traditional publishing cover counts as a cover change. Next to You is the sort of companion to Next of Kin, and this follows the friends of the two main characters from the first one, as one decides to do up a bus. So she's bought this bus and she's like doing it up to live in it, and Matt, who is the friend, I can't remember this friend's name, Lane, yeah. So Lane has bought this bus and she's like doing it up to live in it, and Matt, who's a mechanic, who's a friend of the guy from the first one, is helping her basically. And this is probably about how they fall in love as they do this, but they also have to like figure things out about themselves as they do it, because if the first one's anything to go by, it's never just that simple. Next up is probably my second favourite queen, and the queen that I feel is got one of the best songs because it's so poppy but so sinister when you look at the lyrics, and that is Catherine Howard, and that is To Read an Underrated Book. And for that I've chosen When We Left Cuba by Chanel Cleaton. This also is a sort of double prompt one for me, because for my 12 books, my 12 and 12, I asked my friends to give me a book to read and to do a prompt, and Kay's prompt for that was to read a historical fiction as well. Sorry for that whistle. So this is a historical fiction as well. So this is about a family who had to flee Cuba during the Cuban Revolution. So it's set during that time as well. So that fills that prompt in my 12 and 12 as well. But the reason I think it's underrated is because, so the first book in this series is called, is it Last Night in Havana? I think it's called, I can't remember. Next Year in Havana. It's called Next Year in Havana. And I loved that book. I've not continued with the series. There are 6 books in the series, and I didn't have them to continue on, but if I did I would have binged the series, because that book was absolutely incredible. It was a point in history that I'd never read before, that I'd never even really, like, I had heard about it, I knew about it. It's kind of the second Dirty Dancing movie kind of touches on it. It's set kind of at the same time as this is set, but only really just barely touches on it. And I found myself really, really intrigued and really invested in the characters. And this is a point in time, a series, a author, something that I've never seen anybody else talk about. I've seen Hayley and Bookland talk about it. That's how I discovered it. But nobody else. Like, I don't often see people talk about historical fiction. It's not really the thing on BookTube. Historical fiction, like, it's a niche kind of. It's a niche that I don't see many people that I follow reading. Like, a lot of people read fantasy or sci-fi or like romance, but historical fiction kind of gets left behind. So historical fiction for me in general is just always underrated. Next up, she's the one who survived. That is Katherine Parr, and that is to read the last book in a series. And for that, I've chosen The Toll. If you have seen my vlog where I read Thunderhead, I don't think you will be surprised. I was left absolutely gobsmacked by Thunderhead, so I need to pick this up. I need to find out what happens. Like, I need to know. I need someone to tell me what the heck. What happens? Like, I need to know what happens. I'm also like torn because I also don't want to know. Because after what happened and the way things didn't go at all how I thought they were going to go, I'm kind of scared. You know? I don't know what Neil Shusterman has got in mind for the characters, and I'm just like, where we're going to go for it. Like, what we're going to do, what's going to happen, what have you got in plan for us? Like, what's going to happen, so yeah, I just decided that I need to get this. I need to find out, so this is going straight on the TBR. And of course, not to be left out, and possibly one of the most important parts of 6 are the ladies in waiting, and the prompt for them is to read a book with a group of people, and for that I've chosen Wild Love by Elsie Silver. This is Elsie Silver's newest book, and her sort of sequel companion to this, Wild Eyes, comes out later on this year. I have already pre-ordered it, and what Elsie Silver does in her companion series is she sort of goes through a group of friends. So each book series is set around a family or a group of friends, and it kind of like looks at these friends finding their partners, basically. So I know this is going to have a family dynamic or a group of friends, so yeah, it will be set around this group. I can pretty much guarantee, because I already know that the second book is going to be, I think, the brother of the main character of this book. I'm pretty sure. Other than that, I don't even really know. I know this is a billionaire romance, and it's got something to do with music, like country music, and that is all I really know about this. I am trusting Elsie to do me right. I'm just trusting it. I'm just trusting the process. So that is 7 books for the 6-a-thon prompts. We've got 6 for the queens and then 1 for the ladies in waiting. I'm fairly confident I can get through that. I am really excited to read all the books on that TBR. I have grabbed 3 other books that I just kind of want to get to this month, that I am looking forward to, that I think I'll be able to get to. The first is my reread of my Argenau book, and that one is Mile High with a Vampire. This follows Jet, who is a pilot. I know, Jet, pilot, it's right on the nose. And Quinn, who is the immortal in this scenario, and they are in a plane crash, because Jet is the pilot for the Argenau, one of the pilots for the Argenau family, and he is piloting a plane when it crashes with Quinn on board, and unfortunately all the blood is lost or is dwindling, and he is the only source of blood, and Quinn needs blood to survive. But unfortunately he is also Quinn's life mate, so things get a little bit hairy. Yeah, so it's going to go the same way every Argenau book goes. They are life mates, they are in a dangerous situation, but it'll all end up okay in the end, because that's how all books go. I am really enjoying getting to reread all of these, and I'm almost at the end. This is got this and 3 more, and that's me at the end of it, and there's no signs of a new one coming out, which is the first time that has ever happened since I started reading these. Normally she pumps out 2 a year. She has slowed down to like 1 a year, and now there is no sign of a new one on the horizon, and I am scared that there's not going to be any more, and I'm almost finished. So yeah, we shall see. Next, I've grabbed myself a non-fiction which was on a previous TBR, but I just wanted to get a non-fiction on. I'm trying to get through my non-fictions because they are starting to build up, so I'd rather try and do one a month just to keep on top of them. And for that I've grabbed How to Solve a Murder by Derek and Pauline Tremaine. And this is basically Derek and Pauline Tremaine are forensic scientists, and the forensic medical scientists and forensic secretary, and they basically just are going to go through cases that they have done and different types of forensic science. So yeah, this is something that I'm really interested in, and that's, yeah, basically just nothing else really to say on that. It is a non-fiction book about forensic science. And lastly, I'm hoping to read Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sue Lynn Tan. I do have the sequel to this, which is, I don't even know, something the Sun Warrior? I can only see part of the title from here. This is a sort of shot in the dark for me. I don't know if I'm going to like this, but I found that I'm really enjoying Eastern-based fantastical, like sci-fi fantasy stories. So when Vicky was on haul in this, I was like, I will take it and see if I like it. If I don't, that's 2 books to unhaul off my TBR. So, you know, it's a win-win. If I like it, great. If I don't, that's 2 books off my TBR, because I've got the sequel there. But yeah, no, I'm finding that I do actually really enjoy Eastern, so Chinese, Japanese, Korean mythology based, like Eastern based, mythology based stories. So I'm really hoping this is one that I'll also enjoy. Other than that, I don't really know much about this. I am just going in pretty much blind, other than that it's Eastern. I don't even really know exactly what mythology this is. I just know that it's some kind of Eastern mythology. I will find out when I go to read it. I'm just trusting the process. It says that it's a retelling inspired by the Mid-Autumn Legend, but again, I don't know what that is off the top of my head. I will look more into it when I go to read it. But I'm just, like I say, I'm trusting the process, because the ones I have been picking up, like Jean and Giselle and others, I've been enjoying quite a lot. So I'm hoping that this is a sign of what fantasy and sci-fi that I will enjoy, if that made any sense at all. So there are 10 books that I'm hoping to get to in the month of July, 7 of which are for the 6-a-thon readathon, 3 of which I'm just kind of hoping to add on top of that. It does leave me room, I hope, to mood read if I want to. Otherwise, it's just kind of a hopefully easy TBR. The past couple of months I've not been reading as much as I usually would. I feel like I've kind of fizzled out a bit, but my health has not been great, so my reading has suffered because of it. Let's hope that things are on the up and up. I don't know. Let's hope that things are improving. We can only try. And do you know what? It's not the end of the world if I don't read 15 books every month. Let me know below if you are joining in on the 6-a-thon readathon, and head over to Becca's channel as well. Show her some love. Go and watch the announcement video as well and join in, have some fun. It's, like I say, it's 7 prompts. You can mix and match, you can double up. You can't double up with all of them. I think the most you can do is get like 2 books total, because like first book and last book in a series, you obviously can't combine those 2, and Underrated in a book that everyone's talking about, you can't combine those 2, but like otherwise you can get like smush it into like 2 books. Becca has said that in her video, like if you can do that, she wants to know, because like that'd be impressive. But yeah, let me know if you're going to be doing the 6-a-thon, and I'm really interested to see what everybody's reading. If you want to let me know you're here but you don't want to leave a comment, like a big long typey comment, leave me some kind of queen emoji in the comments. And yeah, let's hope that I can get through this TBR and not have any more health issues this month. Let's just all touch wood while we're here, shall we? Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!